another episode of Moneyball. I am excited today to have a recent draft pick. San Diego Padres picked up my man, Mr. Zach Evans. Say hello to the people.
How's everyone doing? I appreciate you having me on. Thank you.
My pleasure, man. My pleasure. I think this will be fun, dicing it up a little bit here with you and hearing your story. Whenever there's, a local cat drafted in the MLB, it's a big deal, right? I mean, he steals a lot of the thunder in this area. A lot of parents in this area stay focused on hockey because they can play it year round, or Patrick Kane syndrome, or whatever it is. I'm passionate baseball fan. My son plays hockey and baseball. I'm hoping he's an ML. I'm hoping he's in your position one day. But congrats, man. What did it feel like getting that call? Tell me a little bit how it went down.
Yeah, man, it was pretty crazy. I didn't really expect it that much. It wasn't obviously something you push for, but I was playing summer ball in Asheboro, and I got a text on June 1st saying, "Hey, come to this workout at this location." I was like, "All right, sweet. Like, that's the first step. That's awesome."
Yeah.
Went there, went to the workout. It went well. After that, I didn't hear a word from June 1st till July 15th, the day that I got drafted.
Really?
Yeah, they called me up.
No follow up, no nothing.
No text. Like, nothing. Did not hear a single thing.
Was it the Padres that you did the workout for?
Yeah, didn't have anything else, so made the most of it. Was getting on the bus to go to a summer ball game, and I got a call. It was like, "Hey, be by your phone in the next hour and a half. We might think about taking you here." Got to the field and got the call. I'm like, "Hey, we're going with you. Congrats!" And that was it.
Yeah, bro. Congrats. That's so amazing, man. I'm so happy for you. That's every kid's dream, right? Like, you're growing up and you grew up where? Evans, Brant, somewhere that, right?
Yeah,
Brant.
Brant.
Yeah, Brant. Okay. Yeah, right on the borderline res or what?
Yeah, no, right behind it.
Right
Right
by
behind
the So it's crazy, man. I go out there to CCC. They got a real nice ice surface out. It's
Yes, it's beautiful there.
it's
Really nice.
beautiful, right? And it's cheap as heck. So we'll go out there, extra ice time, whatever. And they're great, honestly. They're really, really good people out there. But ninth round in baseball is so interesting because you hear about rounds in any other sport, right? And ninth round doesn't even exist in some other sports. Ninth round
Yeah.
in baseball is still an early pick. Like these dudes aren't burning a ninth round pick, unless they have some faith in you. You know what I mean? I forget how many it goes up to now. It was a little out of control at one point. It was like 25. What is it now?
Yeah, it was nothing. I think it's down to 20. I think that's where they cut
At
it.
one point, it was like 60 rounds. It was like, it took a month. But now a ninth round pick, man, is a high pick. It really is. San Diego, with the talent they have, at your position, you must have had a really good workout with them, bro.
Yeah, it went well. You just go in there kind of taking the opportunity and making the most of it. And I really had nothing to lose at that point, like, it was my only workout. So I kind of told myself, "Hey, go in, do what you can do, and pray for the best."
Yeah.
And it worked out.
How did you feel first of all, how long is that workout?
I think it ran for about an hour and a half, maybe two max.
Isn't that crazy? What's on the line for those 2 hours?
Yep, that's it. And at that point, you don't really like think about that.
Yeah,
You're just like, go in, do what you got to do, and then after you're like, "Dang, 2 hours for all of that on the line."
Yeah. And how many people at that workout?
I think it was around 15 to 20, maybe. Nothing crazy, nothing huge, but
Do you know offhand if any of those other guys were drafted at any point?
I know one of my roommate when I first got here was a free agent signing. So he got signed, and I remember facing him actually in a live at that workout.
Okay.
So it was kind of a full circle moment there. But
Did you get to rub something in, man? Did you smack one off him?
I think I hit a ball in the gap actually off
Okay.
the wall. So we were kind of talking about that after when I realized it was him.
Yeah.
So it was pretty cool.
You have the combo, man. I'm not going to use the cliche 5 tool. You have the power, man. You have the size and you have the power. How are you on the bases? You fast?
I've been working at it. So before, I never really thought it was that important for my game to, have the speed aspect. And ever since my second year at lenoir-rhyne, I was like, all right, I started seeing bags, seeing progress in that. And I kind of take pride in it now to, be a good base runner, be elite at it. And the organization is huge with it too. So they've helped a lot with that.
They're huge on it. Baseball as a whole, which I love and fans love. The little bit shorter, the bigger bases, and can only throw over one. It's a little bit easier to steal a base now, which no one's complaining. No one's complaining. It's such a great element of the game. It reminds me of like Ricky Henderson when he went off and had 150 in a year or something. Like fans love that aspect of it. So for you, obviously, to sharpen that sword, bro, it can do nothing but obviously, like you said, make you better at your craft.
Right.
Once you're drafted, what happens? So tell us about the process. So you're down there working out, you come back home, do this, then you get the call, right? So you celebrate a little bit, and then what happens? Do they then, what do they say? Like, hey, this is where we need you. How, I guess for the average person who's never gone through that or never had a family member go through it or anything, run us through the process.
Yeah, so it happens really, really fast. Like your life gets flipped upside down in a matter of days. So after the call, you hang up, your emotions are everywhere. You don't know what just happened. They give you a little bit of time, and by time I mean like an hour, and you start getting flooded with messages and emails and filling out information on where to be, what time. And I got flight information that same day within 3 hours. You're
Wow.
like, hey, go home, do what you have to do, and then you're on a flight to Arizona to our complex in like 4 days, and it's set up. They get all of your information, and that's it. You're off, and you don't look back. So it's quick. It's quick.
That's wild. And then you get out to Arizona.
Yep. Get out there. We got here. I forgot the exact day, but as soon as we get here, you run through a bunch of meetings, kind of like basically congrats and basically how this is all going to work.
Yeah.
That you sign your contract in person if you didn't already do it.
Yep.
Have a little photo shoot, whatever, and you're off. You're out there practicing, playing games, training from day two, and it hasn't stopped. So
Grinding.
yeah,
So you will, I mean, it's kind of odd too when you go out to Arizona, there's the Cactus League and the Grapefruit League, when you go into spring trainings.
yeah,
I frequent those, I go as Moneyball, I go as my family. We love going down to Florida and checking them out, man. And one of my favorite things about them is meeting guys like you. Say we didn't know each other and we just happen to connect there, and guys who have the opportunity because you see the grit. Like, I had the opportunity to see Jackson Holiday a few years prior to him becoming Jackson Holiday, and he's got a money
yeah,
ball. Actually, he's on board, bro, and
yeah. That's awesome.
he's just a great dude. Like he came
Yeah,
over, and so hopefully, fingers crossed, he'll get on the show soon. What's weird is it's during the season when you're there, right? So is it the same facility that you're at, like their spring training facility?
yeah. So it's the spring training facility, and it's weird too because you'll go in and all the other guys are off to affiliates, right? They're
Yeah.
in the middle of the season, and then you have the complex league team that's kind of in and out. You don't really see them much,
Okay.
and it's kind of for that first month in July till about August, like it's just your draft class. Like that's it, and they're focused in on that. And those are the guys that you see every day, and you're kind of moving along. And then guys disperse out here and there,
Yeah.
but for the most part, it's just you guys. Like for that time you're there until people come back for instructs and all that stuff.
I like that. It builds a brotherhood, right?
Yeah, it's awesome. You get to meet
Yeah.
everyone, start to
Yeah.
get to know each other. It was nice.
How many of the guys is there a language barrier with?
A decent amount. So walk in and you got a bunch of them and you're trying to talk and you're trying to bounce things off of each other and sometimes it takes a little bit, but it's
Yeah.
cool though. I love doing that. It's awesome.
Yeah. No, for sure, man. And you seem like a people person, for sure. Somebody that would like to make friends. So how excited are you for spring training? I mean, honestly, because now, man, you're not going to be, with just the draft class. You're not going to be with just the guys. It's not, it's not your own party anymore. Here
Yep.
it goes, right? Like you're going to be in spring training with, Bogarts and Tatis right next to you. I mean, how stoked are you? First of all, just hearing those two names, and then are you just going to be a sponge, man? Just kind of just, hey, what can I learn from you guys? And how do you feel? There's always that cross between competition and respect, right?
Right. Yeah.
Give me your take.
It's pretty crazy to be even like knowing that I'm going to be there in the same area as those guys. You're watching them on TV for however long growing up, and now you could finally say like I'm going to be in the same area as those guys. It's what you dream of. It's what every kid wants to do, and I couldn't be more excited. I'm going to take in as much as I can from those guys, from other people that I'm with. Like it's going to be crazy, but it's what you asked for. I'm ready for it.
It's what you sign up for. Yeah, man. And
Yeah.
you know, I'll say this, Bogarts, he's getting a little up there, I think in age, right?
Yeah,
New blood's got to come in. How many
yeah.
shortstops were drafted in the first few rounds, or where do you how do you feel in the pecking order right now, or the depth chart? What do you how do you feel personally? Not what you're supposed to say. How do you feel
Yeah.
personally?
I feel really good.
Good.
The good thing about them is they draft shortstops, and that doesn't mean that you're going to go in and be an everyday shortstop. Like
Oh, that's
they draft the position, and they have trust in you to put you wherever else. So there's opportunities, man, like across the board as soon as you get in here. So I feel really good about where I'm at right now. I've played a lot of different positions since
okay.
I've gotten in here, and it's been awesome. Like I love it. I never thought about doing that, obviously, until you
Right.
get put in the position to.
Right.
But I love being having that availability to go wherever.
The best athletes and the best ball players are chameleons, right? I mean, you can play center field and then come down and play short. And lower level baseball players don't understand. Like they're like, what? Just throw them out in the outfield. This isn't little league. Like it's a big difference playing center field and short. I think that's the
Yeah.
biggest misconception for general fans who don't have a huge baseball IQ or aren't as cerebral with baseball. I think that's the big misconception. They'll be like, just throw them in the outfield and let them play. It doesn't work like that. And if you're not used to playing it with the speed and the way everything works and the strategy, you can't make the team, and like you won't ever be
Yeah.
successful.
It's
You
going to take a little bit for
Sure,
sure.
sure. But I mean, but your willingness, right off the bat, you already have a huge advantage because your willingness right there to say, listen, I don't care where I play, man. I'm going to give it 100, 200, give me
Yeah.
give me a shot going in.
Right.
It's got to be exciting, dude. It's got to be. I wish so badly you were down in Florida, so we could come down and check you out. But
Yeah.
so the home is still here. Where is home? Are you in Brant? The family still in Brant?
Yeah. Family's still in Brant. I'm flying in there Friday for about a week, and then I'm heading to North Carolina where I went to school in Hickory. So I'll be there for about a month. Um, Girlfriend's there. I know a lot of friends there from my team, all
Nice.
that.
That's
So
kind
and
of
then
home,
I'll head
home,
back.
home away from home is the North
Yeah.
Carolina. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Got an apartment there, so I'll be hanging out there and then kind of bouncing back and forth from New York to North Carolina. So,
Okay. Up until spring training. You're going to have a few fans in the Scott household. My son plays good little
there you
ball
go.
player. He just played last year for Academy. Uh,
Okay.
and he did pretty well, man. He played up in 11. This year he's on 11, so he played up a year to 11. He led the team in average and stuff. And one thing that I'll touch on with youth sports, we got to dive into it because almost every single episode I end up talking about youth baseball because
Yeah.
I do want your opinion on it as long as you have a few more minutes for me. But it's tough right now because I think you probably know Ronnie Burnick, great guy, right? I
Yeah.
love hot corner, that whole thing, man. And I don't want to slander Academy at all, but one thing you have to keep the fun in baseball for these kids, right? You have to
Yeah.
make the game fun. You can't take it too serious. So after last season, Deacon crushed it. He had a great season. I said, D, what do you want to do next year? And he immediately said, Eden, go back to Eden, right? And I
Mhm.
said, why? Why, man? Well, you did so well. And he said, because I want a walk-up song. You know what I mean? Like that.
I love that. I love that.
But that's
That's awesome.
because he's still a kid. It's like, yeah, let him have his walk-up song, man. What do you think the state of
100%.
the game is for?
Yeah. Youth baseball is what you just said, is the opportunity for kids to go out, and that's the time where you need to enjoy it the most. And that's the time where it can't start feeling like, oh, I have to do this, I have to do that. It's kind of, I get to do this and I get to have fun with it. And the people that know that and push for that are, I think, the most successful people in youth baseball. And you can't start to treat it like it's a job, especially at that age. Like it shouldn't feel like a chore or something that someone else wants for you. Like
Boom,
they should enjoy it.
you just nailed it. Where were you playing at age 11, 12?
So I wasn't with like Academy or any of those organizations. I was with what they called Buffalo Braves, as you know, the old basketball team. We had the
Yeah, yeah.
same kind of logo, everything.
Okay. Yeah, yeah.
And it was kind of kids from a little bit of my area, Cheektowaga, Lockport, kind of those, and we kind of all meshed.
Really?
And yeah, went through that, and then all the way up until I started playing Legion ball, and
Okay.
then all through that. So.
So when were you so then when you were playing Lakeshore ball, were you playing another as well, or were you just doing high school?
So it was high school, and then I was playing AAA BA. for my first year
You were okay.
through that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yep. And
So
then I went on to other places. So
so the signs were already there when you were playing high school as far as AAA, BA. That's a big league. When did you
yeah.
feel personally or people around you feel like, hey man, this kid's got some talent where we think he can go to the next level? What age you think was what defined that?
So honestly, probably my junior year of high school,
Okay.
uh, which
So
was the
later. So later.
it was later. It was definitely later. And even then, it was kind of like you can go on and play. Like it's not going to end here for you. You have some looks. So I went to junior college, obviously. But other than that, it wasn't like yeah, this kid's gonna like, you got it, man. Like you have it figured out. Like it wasn't anything like that. I struggled for a long, long time, but I love it. I love the game, and I wanted to keep playing it as long as I could. So.
Yeah. Yeah. You didn't want to give up on the journey. What do you think the toughest part of baseball is? I mean, what advice would you give my 11-year-old son? And what I mean by that is the mental aspect, like, not which pitch to hit, right? But what do you think
Yeah.
the toughest thing to really stick with or the biggest challenge?
Failure. I feel like at that age, I wish someone told me that you were going to fail as much as I was going to, and so is everyone else. And you're going to miss pitches, you're going to strike out, you're going to make an error, you're going to want to basically hang them up because you don't want to be there. Uh, but you'll have more and more times, and that's part of it, and everyone does it. And at that point, you got to put that aside and not think about the failure, but what you're going to do good. And that mental part kind of flipped for me when I was thinking, I don't want to mess up. I can't do this. I can't do that. Other than I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I'm going to hit this pitch hard. I'm going to make this play, and kind of flip your mindset through that. And I think that's helped a lot.
Fair to say you started manifesting your future,
Yeah.
right? And that's the
In a
best way.
crazy way.
No, I mean for real, and the universe has plans for Zach Evans, no question, right? And it's not predisposed. You worked your butt off to get there, but there's plans, and I have a really good gut feeling about you, and I've watched you play ball, man, and the size is really you got the power is really a crucial component of your game that I think is going to be your trajectory to where you need to go. But I love your
Thank you.
answer. No, I mean it, man. And I love your answer too, so that Deacon can watch this. And Jackson, I got a son just under him, who's playing his first year of travel ball. But they always feel pressure, just as
Yep.
kids to go out. And I actually had to adjust the way I coach ball, and I had to adjust the way that I coached when they got older because I saw myself coaching these younger kids where my rule is everybody no ball player cannot have a piece of gum. So my rule as a coach is everybody has to have a piece of double bubble in their mouth, right?
Right.
And I just have so much fun with it, and the kids love it, and they all get nicknames, kind of like Coach Ball Game. I don't know if you've seen him. The guy's rad, and he was on the show. He's a great guy, and then as I got a little older, or the kids got a little older, that rule went by the wayside, and I started noticing everything just getting more serious, right? And it's like, why? I should keep
Yeah.
that. You should keep that rule till you're in AAA. Everybody
Right.
a piece of gum. Right?
Exactly. And that's the thing, man. Like as soon as there's pressure involved, and obviously the game's gonna have pressure, right? There's gonna be pressure situations.
Yeah, but you put it up on yourself, though.
Like you're gonna say things to yourself that you couldn't imagine anybody else saying to you.
Right.
But as soon as pressure from other people, all this stuff starts getting involved, especially at that age, it's a recipe for disaster. Like it's gonna drive some kids out. It's not good. They're not gonna want to be there. And what you're doing exactly is like that's a great thing. Like it's a really good thing.
Thanks, brother. Thanks, brother. I really, and I have parents after the season, they'll be like, little Johnny hated baseball and you made it so fun for him. And the kid stinks, and he's never going to play or anything. Who cares? But he's having fun.
Right.
The kids after the season, we got bounced, in the first game of the playoffs, whatever. And I do this little dog chain, all the teams do or whatever. And the kids all got together, man. They were so cute. And they Coach D Money, you get the chain. And like,
Yeah.
it's emotional, man. I teared up and I was like, wow, I had an impact on them. So hopefully I'm a coach they remember because you have coaches that you remember, right now that have gotten you where you are.
Yep. It sticks with you. It
It
sticks
does.
with you, and it's one thing that somebody does or a coach does for you, and you won't forget it for the rest of the time you're playing.
So a couple more questions and I'll let you get going, man. And again, I cannot thank you enough for taking the time and man, just short notice. You're like, boom, let's do this. So respect there. Uh, Walk up songs. Give me your top three right now. What are you rolling up to?
Ooh, some EDM/dance music.
Okay. I didn't expect that.
Yeah, yep. I had some songs there. I was a big Mac Miller guy
Okay.
for walking songs, so I had that. And then you can't go wrong with a country song. I don't know one exactly off my head, but some Morgan Wallen or Luke Combs doesn't hurt. But yeah, I think the dance slash EDM music kind of that stuck with me for whatever reason.
All right. So you're gonna stick with that. So spring training comes, right? They're gonna ask you, man. Spring
Yeah,
training comes, right? And you're playing, and they're
right.
gonna say, "All right, Zach, listen, what are you going with? What's your song?"
Yeah. Something like that. I got to look into it a little bit, but it's something. It's
Put
gonna
my
be
man on the
something in that
spot.
genre. I know you killed me with that one, but yeah.
Well, you shocked me. You shocked me with the EDM. I could just picture it now. Like you got like a Luis Angel Acuna before you, right? And like
Yeah.
the horns, and then you come up, and it's like Sandstorm on steroids. Oh, they're gonna throw you out of there, bro.
Yeah, you're gonna kick me out.
Who's your favorite player? Who's your role model? Not role model. Who's your favorite player that you want to model your game after?
So I really enjoyed watching Derek Jeter, obviously, as every shortstop growing up would. And I really love Gunnar Henderson. I love how he plays the game, just kind of how he carries himself. I've never met him, but watching him on TV and how he goes about his game is, I think it's really special. So I enjoy watching him play a lot.
You kind of have his energy. You have his energy, even right down to interviews, to his gameplay. Like I said, I've watched you. You definitely have his energy a little bit. And I agree. I like Gunner a lot, man. Just stacked with those baby birds over there in Baltimore is just crazy. Even Colton Cowser
Yeah,
just coming out of the woodwork, and they're a problem. They're a problem.
crazy. It's
Love it.
crazy.
But listen, man, I love it. This was a pleasure for me. Sky's the limit for you, brother. I truly I wish you the best. I'm gonna get you some swag out too. The Scots are gonna be rooting for you the whole way.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you so much for doing this. I
Oh,
appreciate it.
it was fun. Take care.
You too.